So, let's start from the beginning, where we started at level 1.
Oh, and just to preface, we are currently at level 18.
Also, the preference, we had to do a lot of overhauls with character creations as well. So, the start of level 1, we took a bit of liberties with the point buy system and many other aspects that made our characters a tad too powerful that got fixed later, but at the time, we were still trying to test the water. So, when you start hearing some of the creatures that this asshole tried to murder us with, just know a lot of it had to do with the fact that we were stronger than a typical low level party should have been.
Yeah.
We still are, let's be fair.
Well, we're 18 now, but
Yeah.
But that soon got changed, and then he almost murdered us in the temple.
Yeah. I don't know if I covered this yet or not, but this is literally my first time as dungeon master, so mistakes were made. plenty of mistakes and experiments were conducted.
And that happens, being a first-time DM. When I DM'd the first time when we started this group, I fucked up a lot, not gonna lie.
It also would be good to know that a lot of us, this is our first time DMing. Mom next, and it'll be my first time as well. We all also came from 3.5 Pathfinder, where anybody who played either one of those editions know that the stats are meant to be extremely high in there, not so much in 5e, for those who, again, have played the differences. And when we did both Julio and Roy's campaign, we were still in that sort of, we need to have an AC in the 30s mindset. And then it was just like, okay, no, this is too much. And they both had to Julio had to make a bunch of custom characters and eventually murdered us.
Yeah, my campaign did not end well for them.
Nope.
They all died.
Yep.
It happens.
Several times.
They failed. But that's not the point we're making. For Roy's campaign, we started in Derica.
Yes. Now, there was a bit of a prologue chapter that we did first that was just meant to sort of introduce these guys to the world of Magio. The idea was that they would play in a party full of level 20 characters. Should also establish that there were some people who participated back then who are no longer a part of the group. But we'll touch on them if we need to. So, with the story of that campaign, that one shot, let's say, it revolved around a group that would later on be known as the Heroes of Derica. It was a mercenary group that stumbled upon a poisoned city that was plagued with an unknown illness, and their entire objective was to discover the source of that disease and try to save the city. The town. And eventually they did. They teamed up with a wizard named Atticus Atlas, who helped them out. And the culprit was a man. I honestly don't remember his name.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was an alchemist who used the Philosopher's Stone. Now, the Philosopher's Stone does exist in this world, but it is very different from other accounts of it from 5e or other sources. It is one of 9 holy celestial powers known as the Celestial Swords. And these are basically artifacts that allow a mortal who comes into power with them to rival the powers of gods, eventually. More on that a little bit later. But after defeating the big bad and using the Philosopher's Stone to heal the town, the Heroes of Derica set out on a new adventure to stop another wizard by the name of Endymion. 1 year later, the Heroes of Derica were returned to the town of Derica in coffins, basically illustrating that Atticus Atlas Atticus went with them, but it basically meant that Endymion killed all of them. We then cut to thousands of years later to present day, where the fucking Misfits campaign officially begins, and we have all of our actual characters.
Yeah, it was in game where my character came up with the name the fucking Misfits, because We really are a bunch of fucking misfits, not gonna lie. Like, we come up with some of the most crazy, asinine, insane ideas. We got one character played by our good friend Sean, whose name is Elon, who's a really good character, who's grown a lot, but he has this thing where he likes to tie people up.
And smoke.
In game. He
He's a-
smokes pot. He likes to tie people up when when we arrested an inn. He tries to do that. It's weird. We're
Yeah.
all a bunch of fucking misfits, literally. So
The character does all of the drugs.
yeah,
Fog of inspiration.
that's what he calls it. Anytime you hear fog of inspiration in the game, FYI, he's fucking hitting a blunt.
This
No.
is an adult game.
Yes, very much.
Well,
so.
we're all adults. Come on, guys.
It should, like I mentioned before, that there have been quite a few changes to the party. Be it that certain players are no longer part of the group, or that certain characters have gone off to do other things, or they were temporary stand-ins.
Yeah, Elon is, by the way, speaking of Elon, that's Sean's 5th character in this campaign.
Yeah, just to give you guys an idea. And yet,
Yeah.
and yet, there's not very much difference in terms of personality.
Oh, come on.
I mean,
He's
it's,
gotten better.
I mean,
He's
it's
gotten
true.
better.
Yeah, he has gotten better. He's gotten much better, but
So,
fact still remains.
after the prologue, we started in Derica. Level 1. We actually started, if I remember right, with Varys and with Jin, who was played by our friend Vince.
Right. Session
Session
zero.
kind of zero. I mean, it was
Session-
kind of zero.
Session
kinda
pre-zero.
one. Right. Basically, Varys saw Jin drowning in a river, and a friendly Loxodon named Lockmaester was passing by. We both saved Jin's ass from drowning. We talk. We get to know each other. We ended up killing what was that? It was a kobold.
Mm-hmm.
It was a kobold who had a magic staff that tried to kill me and Jin. We defeated that, and we're level 1, so it was a little bit challenging, but we managed
It
to
was
take
a
care of it.
scrap.
True, it was. I shot his staff, and it broke, and then an interesting thing happened with my character. I got possessed by the demon that was actually inside the staff.
Yep.
So I struggled with that shit for a while.
Yep. Later on, Jin and Varys both meet up with the rest of who would make up the rest of the party in the town of Derica, celebrating the thousands of years ceremony known as the Heroes of Derica, celebrating those who saved the town from the plague with the Philosopher's Stone.
This was a time where they met up with 4 other characters, 2 of the players who are no longer with us, and one of them being Sean's first character, which was this interesting homebrew class that I cannot even remember. And then my character Bartholomew, who has been my mainstay for a majority of the campaign, save for a short
Who's
spell.
also grown a lot. He was just a real asshole. Now he's warmed up.
Now he's only kind of an asshole.
He's warmed up to it.
Varys went from
It was a Mackay Knight.
Yes, thank you, Sean.
We will emphasize that as far as Sean's other characters go, we don't remember their names.
I remember one. Here's a quick story for
Giggles.
y'all.
No, we can tell that later
Okay,
as
fine.
the character
Okay.
shows
Yeah,
up.
yeah. We'll talk about Giggles when we get to him.
Giggles.
So
Oh, that was a good one.
after the ceremony, or during the ceremony for the Heroes of Derica, the town was under attack by a group of cultists known as the Eyes of Nigmata. Now, these guys worshipped a deity, one of the homebrew gods, known as Nigmata the Psycho. We'll touch more on how the hierarchy of the gods works in a little bit. But basically, they were under the impression that the Philosopher's Stone was somewhere in the town of Derica, that it had been sent back to Derica with the corpses of the heroes of Derica thousands of years ago, but it actually wasn't. They were misled by their own god in order to start shit with the group that would eventually become the fucking Misfits.
Right, and if I remember, one of the first things that happened, Varys had gone to Derica not just because of the celebration where his ancestor was being celebrated, as he's in Owensburg. He was looking for his sister, who he did find, and they had their moment where they reconnected, and then the tournament was happening. We decided to go take part in this tournament because there was a cash prize that we all wanted, and that's when the The eyes of
Fangs,
Fangs.
Enigmata.
It was
Yes,
Fangs,
it
right?
was Fangs. Yes.
Sorry,
Excuse me.
it's
No,
been
no,
like
no.
4 years, guys.
That's my bad.
Fangs of Nigmata attacked, and they almost killed the king, but the group, who actually we weren't even a group then, we were just helping each other, we managed to stop them. And that's how we all kind of came together. We saved the king. The
Yeah,
king was indebted to us. The prince kind of eventually becomes our friend, and it just spiraled from there. We were tasked with trying to find the Fangs of Nigmata lair and stop them from doing whatever their cultist shit that they wanted to do.
He owns dogs, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I apologize for them. So yeah, that was the basic objective. Um, they did have one final encounter with the Fangs of Nigmata, in which they did defeat them. Unbeknownst to them, there was one that was technically immortal, but I haven't brought him back since, so I guess he's just not coming back.
Well, was it his
We
spirit?
locked his
His
ass
spirit. Well, his spirit was ended up broken once he
Yeah.
realized
Oh,
he
yeah,
was
yeah,
led astray. I
Yeah,
believe.
that's right. Anyway, so the group gets taken to the king's courtroom to be celebrated and, to be rewarded for their brave heroism of taking down the Fangs of Nigmata. It's at this point where they have their technically second encounter with Nigmata himself.
Mhm.
Now, Nigmata, he's an asshole.
No, he's more than that.
Well, explain in detail of who he is and what he's the god of.
Yes, he is the god of knowledge. Now, the way that my system works, or the way that the gods in Magio work, is that they are based off of the 9 aspects of reality. The 4 elements of nature, the 3 attributes of life, the 2 laws of reality, which are the 4 elements of nature are fire, earth, water, wind. The 3 attributes of life are mind, body, and soul. And the 2 laws of reality are time and space. Nigmata is the god of mind. So the god of knowledge. Every year, one of these gods inhabits the world. And right now, they just happen to be in the year of Nigmata. So Nigmata is currently plaguing the world. Doing what he does, messing with humans just because he can, because, like I said, he's an asshole. So he interrupts the ceremony by seemingly stopping time. Now, what he does is he actually pulls them into a sort of illusion. They don't know this yet. He takes on several different copies of himself to fight off against the party.
Yeah.
Now,
we fight a god and we're level 2.
yeah, no pressure.
No, we were 3 by then. I think we were 3 by then.
Yeah, I
We
was
were
gonna say
level 2 or 3.
Yeah, we completely missed the spiders.
Oh yeah, the spiders.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
When Derek got attacked.
right. Rewind. Sorry, my bad. There was an incident where the town was attacked by giant mechanical spiders.
And before that, we went to a cave to save the prince.
We don't need to cover that.
Okay.
The only reason why I'm bringing this part up is because we are introduced to an NPC that is really important. After the group struggled to beat these spiders, a mysterious woman clad in black with a bow and arrow that basically shoots energy arrows
A Quincy.
came in. Yeah, basically a Quincy from Bleach. She came in, destroyed them, had her little mysterious, I don't know what I am, ooh, and disappeared, seemingly into the void. The void.
Mm-hmm.
You want this?
No, I was going to say, explain what the void is.
Yes.
You already brought it up, so good.
The void is my bullshit way of getting around people not being able to show up every single week. It is basically my in-universe thing that's saying that people are sucked up into a demi-plane, a pocket dimension, if you will. Whenever they can't make it to a session, I basically just banish them off into there.